What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, this is TW Motorsports, and today we are back on the Tahoe. And we're going to call this part 2 of the interior cleanup. Now, mainly what I'm focusing on is the carpet today. You guys know in the last video on this thing, I started on the carpet, but I needed some sort of extractor, and it is here. So I will list this in the description down below. It is cheap compared to like the big detailer brands. It's not the same. But we're going to see if it does any better than my vacuum and just spraying it. So I've got several things here. I have filled this pump sprayer with some Folex, and we are going to soak this carpet down. I'm going to use my scrub brush on my drill, and then we are going to try to extract it. Like I said, I'm using Folex. I put a little bit in there, not very much, and filled it with some warm water. So we're going to start up front, and it does look a lot better than it did. But guys, I think it will come a lot cleaner. I think because I'm fair complected and the sun is beating down on me today, I'm going to start up there where there's the most amount of shadow. So I'm going to set you guys up on a tripod. We're going to soak this thing down, and we are going to start. We're going to see if we can get this way cleaner. Let's go around it one time before I start, though, and take a look at some of the areas. Some of them have actually faded a little bit since it's dried out. You can see the spots right here. Those spots like that, I think they're going to come really, really clean. Now, under the carpet, I'm not as concerned. And like I said, chances are, guys, I'll probably replace the carpet at some time. But I don't know. I'm just a clean freak, and I like to do this. It seems kind of fun to me. So I'm going to go grab that sprayer. We'll set you guys up on the tripod and see what we can get accomplished. Now, I told you guys this was full of Folex. It's actually water, hot water, and a little bit of Folex, maybe a quarter Folex, and the rest is warm water. So we're just gonna soak, and I mean we're gonna soak it down. That's why I chose to use this pump sprayer instead of like a nozzle. It's just way quicker than trying to spray everything down. If there's any spots that are stained more than others, you want to spray them down really good, like here and here. And I know I'm using a lot, but like I said, I want a lot on here. What's really cool about this new extractor is it's got a clear head, so I can see if I'm pulling anything out. I don't know, that's exciting to me. You can actually see what's going down. Now that we got it pretty soaked, let's go grab our scrub brush and try to scrub it. All right, guys, since I've got it scrubbed down, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the extractor. So that releases the water, and then obviously you have suction, and then you'll be able to see, hopefully, a bunch of dirt and grime, but it's gonna be pretty loud here, so I'll probably time lapse this part. So for this area right here, I went over it a couple times, and kind of how you can tell if you're going to pull up any more stain is obviously through the clear end of this, if it's pulling up any. But when you're scrubbing, if you don't see any dirt, chances are that's not going to come up. So I think we're to the point. I'm going to go over this one more time, but then we're going to move on, because I just don't think this area is going to come completely clean. I think it's actually maybe dyed the carpet a different color, whatever they spilled here. One thing I did want to show you guys is look at the first, just in doing what I've done. So it's obviously working, which is good. Now we just need to dump this out and keep going. So look at the line where I stopped. It's absolutely working. So no, it's not taking out every little stain, but guys, it is making it look a ton better. If you hit this early, didn't let all this set for a long time, it would definitely do a great job. I'm pretty impressed. If you also notice, I switched to the smaller head. That just gives me more suction, and it allows me to get into these little spots that I can't normally get in. So I'm gonna keep plugging away, and let's see if we can get this thing scrubbed down. So here we are a couple days later, and while it looks better, don't get me wrong, it looks way better than it did. Just some of the stains didn't come out that I thought would, and I'm trying to guard you guys from the wind because it's ridiculously windy today, but it looks better, that's for sure. And I'm really close to the road right now because the battery's dead in this thing. Apparently I left a light on, but we still have some stuff to do. So the carpet's as good as it's gonna get. You probably could go over it a couple more times. It might get better than this, and believe me, it's way better than it was, but not up to my level. So yes, I am gonna replace it, but I wanted to see how much we could get out. So now what I need to do is I'm gonna have to pull the headliner out of this. So because I'm gonna pull the headliner out, I need to get all the trim that touches the headliner out of the way, including that other door panel too. I I don't really have to have it out of the way, but because he's going to have to take the door handles out to paint and whatnot, I'm going to go ahead and get everything out that doesn't need to be here. So I don't know that I'm going to tackle like the center console. I might up top, but I definitely need to get the seat belts out and all the trim panels that touch the headliner. So this big pillar here, I'm going to go ahead and take the ones off on the rear barn doors and the trim that goes up the side and whatnot. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and take that door panel off as well. There's one spot I'm going to have to glue on this one, and I figured as long as I'm doing that, I might as well take everything out that could possibly need re-glued on the back side. So I'm going to set you guys up on a tripod, and we're going to see if we can whip out all of these interior panels. So before we get started doing that, let's talk about what I'm doing. So as you can see, I have bags, and I have some, what is these, Avenger bags? I don't know, I robbed these out of the house. So I tag and bag everything. So I write on here like rear trim, sun visors. I want to keep track of all this stuff, putting it back in the same location, making sure I don't lose any nuts and bolts. So guys, I do this with every one of my projects. It's always a good thing to tag and bag everything you're taking apart. And because each of these sometimes has a different screw, it's always good to do that. So we're going to get started here. I think I'm going to start with, I might start with this visor since I already have a bag made for it. And I did have to buy a new trim piece up there. So we're going to start there and kind of work our way back with the coat hangers and all the grab handles. And then we'll get back here to this bigger trim, the seat belts, and the pillar trim up there. So I have all the stuff off in the back in order to get the headliner out, but for some reason this has a T50, and guys, it comes in from the window. So I don't know if they put it in the factory before the windows go in, but I'm gonna have to find a different tool because mine is too long. My T50 will just not fit up into place with the glass in place. So I'll probably have to go buy just like the L-shaped Torx bit and a T50, but I'm gonna move on up to the pillar at this point, and then the windshield pillars, and hopefully that will be it other than the door panel up front. But I'll give you guys a look, not only while I'm doing it, but once we finish up, we'll take a look around it and see if there's anything that I missed. So at this point, we have everything out of the way that I'm going to be taking out. Now, could I have taken this out? Yes, but I wasn't sure if the headliner would start to fall if I took that out. So I wanted to leave it in place, as well as the lights. And can you hear that clicking? The battery is completely dead in this thing. I don't know if because I've taken some panels off, some lights have stayed on, I think what's going on. But at this point, guys, we're ready to drive it down to the upholstery shop, and he's going to take this headliner out before I take it down to my painter, or out to my painter. And my painter's not quite ready for it yet, so it may be a little bit before we do that. But I think I'm going to start working on some mechanical stuff and some suspension stuff while we've still got it here at the house. Now, I'll show you guys back here. There's one part I'm kind of back and forth on. I don't think I'll probably take this whole panel out to replace this little rip right here. I think I can live with that. And over here, you can see the spare tire rack mounts there. I think I'm going to leave that as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to put the spare tire back in. I don't know. But all this stuff is stripped out that I think we're going to strip out, other than the belts. Obviously, we got to get those out of the way, but I've got to get a wrench to get up there and get those loose. Door panels in the back are loose, and all this stuff, guys. All the stuff I've already taken out, I've already started to clean. And so this is going to get added to that pile. I'm basically scrubbing down every little piece and then putting some treatment on it. And there's a few little pieces that are cracked that I'm gluing up at the same time. But I think we're finished for today, guys. But we have a ton of stuff coming on this thing. I've got some big plans. So you guys are just going to have to stay tuned to see what I'm talking about when I say big plans. Hopefully I can get a few of these things accomplished before my painter calls, because it'll probably be gone for quite a while he's painting it. I'm not going to do any part of that. I'm not doing any part of the interior. The seats are already at the upholstery shop getting redone, and that's about it, I think. Like I said, we'll start on some suspension stuff, maybe some mechanical stuff. It needs a steering box for sure, and I'm not sure how deep I'm going to go. You'll just have to stay tuned. But guys, if you're not subscribed, go down and hit that subscribe button. I think a lot of you guys are going to enjoy this project. I know I'm excited about it. I haven't been excited about a project in a long time, and it's going to be exciting, believe me. And while you're hitting that subscribe button, make sure you ring that bell icon. That notifies you every time we drop a new video. And guys, we'll stay tuned to see what we work on or sell next.